Hello and welcome to the Calm and Content Mind. This video provides information about the cerebellum connection. All balancing exercises in this video are inspired by the book ADHD 2.0 by Edward Hallowell and John Ratey. The balancing exercises in this video target the cerebellum and the vestibular system of the inner ear. These two areas combined are referred to as the vestibulo-cerebellar system. Compelling evidence from research sightings in this book suggests that strengthening this system not only improves physical skill, but also attention and focus, as well as emotional regulation. As we age, the need for greater balance practice is crucial. Our balance naturally declines over time because of our worsening vision, reduced muscle strength and coordination, and also slowing down of some neural processes crucial for balancing. It has become crystal clear to me that balance exercises should be part of everyone's daily movement routines. Children, teens, young adults, and older adults alike all benefit from balancing. I'll be leading you through a series of balancing activities in this video, starting with some basic foundational movements and increasing in difficulty and skill. This video is intended for educational purposes. I am a certified 200-hour yoga instructor, but please consult with your physical therapist or doctor if you're struggling with your balance. When you start any balancing exercise, you want to start by firmly planting your feet on the ground so you feel all points of contact, starting with the toes, the balls of the feet, and the heel, pushing down, feeling strong, and taking a moment to pause and get your weight balanced. Taking a deep breath in, and we're going to start with our hands overhead with a breath in and an exhale out. Once again, arms overhead, breathing in and exhaling, releasing. Now moving into our balancing, we're going to exchange weight between each foot, left foot, right foot, feeling full pressure on each foot as we lift the opposite foot. Taking a moment to pause here, really bring attention to how it feels to exchange that weight between each foot and then dropping into the opposite foot. Really become mindful of this exchange of weight and do this for about 10 times on each foot. If you're able to do some unsupported heel lifts, this is a great exercise to do each day. You can start with hands at your hips and lift for 10. You will start to feel some pressure in your calves, and this is great exercise for your ankles. If you need more support, bring the arms out at a T and continue on. I would recommend about 20 heel lifts a day, or until you start to feel those calves burning. About 20 gives me a nice burn in my calves. Good job. You can also lift up on your toes, hands overhead, or you can bring your arms at a T for balance. Try lifting up on your toes with heels lifted for about 10 to 20 seconds. Starting with both feet on the ground, raising one leg up and holding this for about 10 to 20 seconds, while really feeling the pressure and weight adjustment into the foot that is rooted on the ground. Switching when you're ready. And remember, you can always bring your foot lower to the ankle or just hovering over the ground if that's more comfortable for you as you start with these leg lifts. Starting with both feet firmly planted on the ground, hands on hips, I'm going to gently raise one foot and lower it down. Feel the exchange of weight between your feet. As you raise your leg up, feel that weight in your other supporting leg. Take your time, work slowly through this as you become aware of this exchange of weight between your feet and legs. Switch sides when you're ready, taking a moment to get your balance on both legs and lifting slowly and releasing. Again, feeling that exchange of weight between your legs and your feet. Take your time and do this about 10 to 20 times on each leg. Starting with arms at a T and legs spread, slightly bend your knees and practice these larger steps and exchange of weight between each foot and leg. Take your time, find your balance each time both feet are planted, and move all of the weight and pressure into that standing leg and foot. Starting with feet firmly planted on the ground, hands on hips if needed, or for balance, arms at a T, bending the leg and opening and closing the leg, rotating the hip, leg in and out, slowly and mindfully, bringing all that weight and balance to that stable leg and foot, taking your time to move through this exercise. I would recommend 10 to 20 times on each leg. As you move through this exercise, be mindful of your posture and your core strength, and keep that nice straight spine through the tip top of your head all the way to your tailbone. Next, we're going to move into a lunge pose, but before we do that, we're going to practice some body movements in preparation for the lunge pose. Hands on hips, starting with one of your legs and lunging forward, exchanging all the weight into that front foot, feeling the weight and pressure release from the back foot. Do this about 10 to 20 times on each foot. Great job moving through that. Now we're going to practice pushing our weight in back of us, starting with the opposite foot, sending that foot in back of us and exchanging the weight. Take it off that front foot and put it into the back foot. Practice this 10 to 20 times on each leg. Now we're going to move into our lunge pose. With feet firmly planted on the ground, mindful of our straight spine, we're going to take one leg out in front of us, lunge forward, and pause here. Your front knee is going to be bent, but your stance might need to be a little bit farther away. I have pretty long legs, so I'm going to spread my stance out a little bit more. Just make sure that your knee is not over your toes, and you can say hello to your toes and always see those toes. And pausing here, keeping that spine nice and tall. Arms out as a T or above your head. You can lunge back, push weight into your hips, making sure you move your front foot so you can see your toes. More advanced, hands at prayer, and a twist here in your lunge. Gently coming out of the pose, finding your balance. Hands on hips as you bring that weight forward. Good job. Now we're going to switch legs and do our lunge on the other side. You might feel that you're more stable on one of your legs. I'm definitely more stable when my right foot is forward. But here again, we want to make sure our knee is bent, but not over our toes. Back legs at 90 degrees. Get strong in your pose. Hands at a T or overhead, bending back. More advanced, hands to prayer, and twisting here in your lunge. Gently coming out of your pose, keeping that balance, activating your whole body and your core, bringing that weight forward. Great job. Lunge pose definitely works up a sweat. You're going to feel it. Don't forget to take your water breaks, my friends. Hydration, hydration, hydration. We're going to be moving into our final balancing exercise, and I wanted to share with you this exercise I've been working on for quite a while. I find it to be a very advanced balancing exercise and something that I work on probably 2 to 3 times a week. For this balancing exercise, I recommend weights. I'm using 2-pound weights in each hand, but this is certainly something you can omit. We're going to start by raising one foot and hinging the body forward, touching the weights onto the ground, coming back up and trying to keep that foot off the ground until you're upright. I am not as balanced on my left leg as I am my right leg, so I always start with my left leg. Something to keep in mind when you're doing balancing exercises is to not get too frustrated with yourself if you fall out of balance. This is all part of the process, all part of the journey, and you're building muscle memory, you're building strength every time you fall out of balance and get yourself back to balance. I do these for probably 6 to 10 times on each foot, depending on how long I can tolerate. I have very skinny, weak ankles, so these exercises are great for strengthening my ankle, and I can always feel it in my foot and ankle. Switching sides here, you'll see that I have much more stability on my right foot, and I can go a little bit faster. But my goal is to get that strength and balance up on my left foot. Coming out of the exercise here, can definitely feel a lot of pressure and strength in your hamstring. Wiggle your toes around, rotate those ankles because there's going to be some pressure there on the ankles. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found some benefit in these easy everyday balancing exercises. As always, I wish you all good mental health. Remember to take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.